Let's talk about the OnePlus 12 6 months later. Now, I don't really know what to say about this device that I haven't said already, but since this is 6 months later, let me just say this. Everything that I've said previously has not changed. This is my favorite device. Easily. Easily. In almost every way. Favorite design. Love the build. Love the always on display. The biometrics are the best. As far as fingerprint sensor, the face unlock is super fast and reliable. Biometrics are excellent. The always on display is great. I just wish, you could see, well, my battery's kind of low. That's probably why it's not playing the always on. Yeah, I'm on 9%. So the always on display is currently not being utilized, but it's a great always on display. No issues at all. Now, this is not a ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. It's optimal, but people act like just because it's not not an ultra fingerprint sensor. You know what I'm saying? Ultrasonic. Yeah, just because this is not an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, people act like this is not, this fingerprint sensor is not reliable, or it's not any good, or it's not that secure. That's a bunch of nonsense. Okay, it's totally secure, and it's just as good as ultrasonic. Now, ultrasonic, of course, it reads the ridges on your finger and all that, and the optimal basically takes a photo of you. It don't make no difference. Only thing I care about, can I get into my phone every time? Is it reliable? Is it fast? You can see it's super fast and it's super reliable. I can use it with my banking app. Anything I need to have security for and use my finger is not a problem. It's excellent. Okay. Excellent. So no issues with biometrics whatsoever. The display is absolutely gorgeous. This device gets super bright. I mean, it's bright, it's vivid, it's sharp. To me, it's just as good as the display on the Samsung, but this one gets a little bit brighter. Now, with the Samsung, you can get actually a little brighter than this if you use the extra brightness. But just this without extra brightness on its own, and without Samsung using extra brightness, this is actually brighter. It's actually a brighter display. But this 6.8-inch display is absolutely beautiful. The battery life, I'm still getting consistently 2 full days with heavy usage. Let me prove it to you. I'm going to go to photos because I took a couple of screenshots of my battery life recently, and I want to prove it to you. I want to show you. Let me see. Okay, not that day. Okay, just look at this day. See that there? 1 day, 23 hours. That's 2 days. Screen on time, 7 hours. How much battery did I have left? 11%. So I basically could have almost gotten to 8 hours of screen on time. And that's the same day. Here's another day. This is basically 2 days for me. Okay. Hour and 17, a day and 17 hours. That's 2 days for me. Look at that screen on time. 7 hours and 41 minutes. That's with heavy usage, y'all. So I'm telling you, the battery has been consistent. Remember, you're dealing with a 5,400 milliamp hour battery. So easily 2 days. And I'm talking 2 days with no battery anxiety. Even when this battery gets down to 15%, I have zero anxiety with the battery. Now check this out. Just this week, I went to bed and this phone had 4%. 4%. So I didn't plug it up because I don't have to plug this phone up and plug it up overnight. I don't have to because the charge is so fast. I can just plug it in the morning. I mean, with the wired, I could charge this phone in 28 minutes. Wired charging, 28 minutes, wireless, 50 minutes. So I don't charge this overnight. It's not necessary. So it was on 4%. So I turned it over, and always on display would go off anyway when it gets that low. So I said, well, this phone will probably be dead. By the time I wake up in the morning, I'm sure it'll be dead. I woke up in the morning. It was on 1%. And when I turned the screen on, you see how bright and vivid it is now? That's how bright and vivid it was at 1%. You can't do that with a Samsung device. When a Samsung device gets to 5%, the whole screen dims considerably. It's like it dims down to almost like 25%. Like I could barely see anything. And after it gets to 5%, you got maybe 5 minutes before it's just completely dead. Not this. This phone is still this bright, this vivid at 1% battery. The only phone that I know that does that is Samsung. When it gets down to 5%, it literally gets so dim till you can't see it, and then it dies really quick after that. My Vivo, my Mi 11 Ultra, my OnePlus 12, all of these phones stay at their peak brightness at 1% or not. Now, I know Samsung, maybe they do that because they're trying to preserve the battery. But what good is preserving the battery if I can't even see the screen? I can't see the screen when it's that dim. So even though these can be at 1%, they still last a while. Like it seems like they just don't want to die. So I absolutely love the display on this device. Performance is still absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I didn't mean to turn that on. It's just so fluid, so smooth. Oh my goodness. The only other phone that is just this smooth and fluent is my Vivo and my Mi 11 Ultra. I mean, so silky smooth going in and out of apps. I mean, it's fast. I mean, when I'm scrolling, it's just smooth, it's fast, it's reliable. Oh man, I love this device. The speakers on here are awesome, dual stereo speakers. You get a nice stereo sound that comes out of this device. Love that. The cameras are excellent, top notch. Can hang with the S23 Ultra. They right up there with them. You got that alert slider that I really don't use. I keep my phone on vibrate all the time, but I like having it there, as an option. Man, you got that IR blaster, that universal remote control. Love that. That's awesome. Man, the button placement is excellent. I just love this device. Like I said, the reason why the S23 Ultra is still my most used device is because of the software. That doesn't mean I dislike Oxygen OS, because it's not true. I love Oxygen OS. I have no issues with Oxygen OS. I really don't. But they're just not quite as customizable as the Samsung. And Samsung does certain things and have certain apps that I absolutely love and that I absolutely need. So, but I would say number 2 when it comes to software, I would probably say Oxygen OS, then the Vivo, and then I would say the Mi Hyper OS. So One UI, Oxygen, Vivo, and I forgot what Vivo calls their their software at the moment at the top of my head, but Mi 11 Ultra, they use Hyper OS. So I still love the software. I mean, like I said, the performance on this phone is ridiculous. It's so smooth. Y'all just don't understand unless you have this phone and bought it and use it. You don't understand how smooth this phone is until you use it. And then you be like, man, I've never used a phone that's this silky smooth. I've never, I mean, like I said, the only phone that compares to it is my Vivo. Even my Mi 11 Ultra is not this smooth. Y'all see how fast this phone is? It's crazy. Look, even my S23 Ultra is not this responsive. It's just not. And this screen has this display on here. This phone has never froze on me. Never. There's no delay with the fingerprint sensor. There's no delay with Face Unlock. I don't have any delays, no slowdowns, no nothing. Nothing has changed since day one, since I had this phone. Nothing. Zero. Everything is still A1. Y'all missing out. Those of you that you just Samsung only and you refuse to change and refuse to try anything else, you missing out. Honestly, you're really missing out, because this device is so friggin' awesome and is hundreds of dollars cheaper than the S23 or the S24. Now, it may be a little more expensive than the S23, but definitely cheaper than the S24. And you're going to get more phone. I mean, 100 watt wired charging, 50 watt wireless charging, and 10 watt reverse, all better and higher than your Samsung device. Much, much higher. Okay. And the performance is better. The speakers I like better on this. The photos, I would say they neck and neck. Now I will say probably Samsung's video recording is probably a little bit better, like a little more stable. Not that this is unstable, but just I think the Samsung's a little more smoother. But I don't have any issues when it comes to these cameras at all. I really don't. They're awesome. They're awesome. I love them. I love this design. I love this build. I just, man, I love this device. I really do. That's why it's my favorite device. And 2 days of battery life, 2 days without any battery anxiety. And that's heavy usage. That's not light to moderate. No, that's heavy usage. So I love it. No issues. Definitely can recommend it. If you're going to game on here, I'm sure you're not going to have any issues whatsoever gaming. Now, I'm not a gamer. That's why I never even show y'all games and all that, because I don't play games on my phone. I just don't. Of course, there's plenty other YouTube creators out there that'll demonstrate that play games. I'm just not a gamer, so I don't demonstrate that stuff because I don't play games. Okay, I just try to keep it real to how I use the device. Everyone uses their device differently. But I'm rocking this phone, 100% brightness, always on display, quad HD, 120 hertz, 2 days battery, heavy usage. That's what it's giving me. Now, whether to give you that type of battery life, I can't say, but that's what it's doing for me. I love this phone. Performance, cameras, build, biometrics, charging speeds, speakers, performance, all top notch. I just wish it had expandable storage and a headphone jack. Those are the only two things that I wish this device had. Oh, and IP68 water and dust resistant. It's IP65, I believe. So those are only three to me, the only three things that are missing from this device. IP68 water and dust resistance, a headphone jack, and expandable storage. That's it. Other than that, it has everything else. And this is a must buy. This is the phone of the year, honestly, for me. I can't speak for nobody else. For me, this is the phone of the year, and you're going to get the most value out of this device. So after 6 months, this is this phone is just awesome. I highly recommend this to anyone that's out there looking for an Android phone. If you could afford it, like I said, some people are getting older, flagship devices, based on their budget. I understand that completely. But if you can, save up your money, this is definitely worth picking up. And you're going to be good with this phone for the next 4 years. Easily. You're going to love this device. I'm telling you. Now, that's all I can say. So, OnePlus 12. This is a win right here, y'all. This is a win. Like Flossie Carter would say, this is a major, major, major go. It is the OnePlus 12. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.